Hello, hello. Today's video is so long overdue. It is my nighttime skincare routine. I think the last routine I filmed was 2 years ago, and it was before I went cruelty free. So a lot has changed since then. I'm going to go over the products I regularly use, what I switch out, because of course I don't use the same thing every night. And then I also have acquired some new products that I think are going to be beneficial going into the winter months. So I'm excited to share them with you guys. If you're new here, you may have not heard me say this before, but I am a licensed esthetician, and that is definitely where my heart lies. Even before makeup, I love skincare. I love reading about ingredients. And although I don't currently work in the field, it's definitely a passion of mine. If you're excited for today's video, or if you enjoyed this video while you're watching, please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get into it. It is early. I hope you guys can see me okay. I know this is not the brightest of light, but I'm making do with what I can. I can't remember if I said this already, but I am trying to get a jump start on editing today. So I'm filming this in the morning, and then I'll be doing it all again in the evening. So we're gonna be extra indulgent today. I did just try to adjust the lighting a little bit by opening my window. I did that before when I was starting my intro, and at one point the sun was just like blinding me in my eyes, but I would rather have good lighting, and for right now it's okay. Just know if there's any inconsistencies, that's why I'm trying to get some natural lighting today. As mentioned, these products are part of a rotation. I don't do the same thing every night. This would be my ideal routine if I got rid of everything else except for a couple of things that I'll mention when they come up. To go over my skin type, I'm normal to dry to very dry in the winter. I am 32, so I'm starting to have all those fine lines creep up. And I don't know if it's just 2020 or the hell that has been this year, but I've noticed a lot more creep up this year than I have in years past. My fine lines around my eyes have definitely increased, and my small lines have gotten larger, and my pores I've also seen stretch out more. I think part of it is the fact that I had half of this year, three full months were spent in quarantine, and I had more time to just stare at my face, and I think I've just noticed those things more. Another thing too with wearing a mask to work, this is not a complaint because I actually really like wearing the mask. It has its own benefits besides preventing the spread of COVID. I like it for other reasons. So not a complaint, but of course there is one big downside, and that's maskne. Ignore that light, my mirror just went a little wonky. But I am getting whiteheads underneath my skin, and they're the whiteheads that don't like pop right away. I usually will get in there with my little extractor tool, but they are staying around for a while. I just finally extracted some of them last week, but at one point I just had a ton of them all around here. And then also another thing with wearing the mask, and you would think it would be the opposite effect, but I have noticed my skin just getting really dry under there. Sometimes when I take it off, my skin just feels so tight. The other day I worked out at the gym with the mask on. Everything's socially distanced, so I go to Planet Fitness, so there's a distance between each machine. But when I took it off, when I got home and took a shower, I just smiled in the mirror and everything felt so tight and dry. So anything right now to keep my skin hydrated, I'm trying to take really good care of it. I'd love to hear your tips below. I'd love to hear about your favorite products. Type them out while you're going through these with me. Maybe sit down and do your routine as well, because it always feels good to do a little self-care. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I am not filming this in my bathroom because the lighting in there isn't great. I'm saying that now, but the lighting right now isn't great out here, but it's even worse in the bathroom. It's very yellow. So really, aside from a couple of times that I'm gonna have to get up and wet my skin or wet my face halo that I'm gonna start with, it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. The first thing I'm gonna start with is my face halo. I purchased these as a pack of 3. This is my second time purchasing these. I used to use a makeup eraser before this. I don't think it really matters between which one. They do the same thing. I just like the shape of this one more. I did recently pick up a pack of 7 of the makeup erasers, and they're a little bit smaller. And since it's been a while since I've used them, I'll be able to compare those shortly. But I just dampen this and I just go around my face and get rid of the first layer of makeup. I don't do this every day. Like if I just had a very simple work day where I wore like a tinted moisturizer and some mascara, maybe my brows, then I will just use a cleansing balm. But if I've done a full face of makeup, I will always go in with this first. think it really helps to remove that initial layer. And then taking care of these is really simple. I get a big bottle of Dr. Bronner's. It's also what I use to clean my makeup brushes. I use that to clean this every time I use it. And then once a week, sometimes twice a week if I haven't really used it much, then I will throw it into the washing machine. And today I'm gonna have to be really diligent because the shadow I was wearing had glitter in it. I don't want any of that left on my face. I do try to, whether I'm using this or I'm doing my cleansing balm or my cleanser, I do always try to wipe inward versus outward, less pulling on the skin. Of course, that can't be the only step in makeup removal because as you can see, I still have quite a bit left on my skin, all of that glitter as well as my eyeliner, and I'm sure I have some left on my face as well that you just can't see. So next I'm going to use a cleansing balm. I love doing this step. It's like a little massage for your face. I've mentioned this recently. This cleansing balm is the one that is currently in my project pan, and it is the one I'm trying to get through. It's from Derma. I didn't realize how much crud I had on the top of it, but this is the Universal Cleansing Balm. It's all right. It does the job, but it is gritty and I don't love the feel on my skin. Another thing to note, this has just been sitting here ready to film and talk about it. You guys see how oily that is and it's melting? It's been room temperature. It's actually been a little bit cold up here because it's November. So before, when I had this in the bathroom, before I set up to film this video, it was melting all over the place. So I'm trying to get through this one. So I have been using that one a lot, but this one is fairly new to me, but I really like it already and it's what I want to use today. This is going to be my special cleansing balm until I get rid of the Derma one. This is from Then I Met You. It's the Living Cleansing Balm. I have been wanting to try this forever. I love the packaging, but then also the color inside makes me super happy. What led me to purchasing this one, I used to use the pharmacy Green Clean Cleansing Balm because that has polyethylene and that is an ingredient I'm trying to avoid. I picked up the Derma first because it does not have that. And like I said, I don't love the texture. I don't love how messy it is. This one also does not have polyethylene, so I'm excited that I found another one. Take some of that out of there. I maybe got a little too much, but we're being extra indulgent today. This has sea buckthorn oil, and it's also an ingredient in another product that I really love. This also has olive oil and vitamin E. And I'm gonna do my eyes last. But like I said, I try to go inwards when I do my eye area. Get underneath very well, all the way through the lashes. And this is especially important if I was wearing false lashes today and trying to get rid of all of my glue. But I like to take a minute or two to really work it into my skin. While my skin is still damp, I'm going to start cleansing my skin. This one is from You to the People. It is the Superfood cleanser with kale, green tea, spinach, and vitamins. I have a couple of cleansers in my rotation, but I like this one the most for after I'm wearing makeup. It just makes my skin feel really clean without making it feel stripped. I love the smell of this cleanser. It has a very earthy kind of scent. I would say it's very similar to the scent of fresh cut grass. Let me get a little bit of water, get some more foam there. While we're here, my other favorite cleanser has been from Crave, and I've been using this one in the morning, but it's the Matcha Hemp Cleanser. I will talk about that one when I do my morning routine. I'm hoping sometime in December. And then my other one that I enjoy at night is from Tatcha, the Rice Polish. That one has very fine grained, I guess it's rice. It gives some kind of exfoliation to the skin. I really love doing that when I do a full face of makeup because again, it just feels like it cleans everything out. Today I'm going to do a mask though that does exfoliate. I wouldn't do both of them at the same time. And this is where it gets a little bit more tricky because I also have some chemical exfoliants that I use and I don't use them all at once. If I'm going to use the Tatcha, I'm not going to use my Good Genes from Sunday Riley. I just don't need that much exfoliation. And even though it can be really tempting when you have dry skin because you can see all those little dry bits, using too much can just dry your skin out more. So I rather just deal with it for a little while, deal with the flakes rather than drying out my skin even more. Like I just said, my favorite chemical exfoliant is Good Genes from Sunday Riley. I've been using that for a long time. It's lactic acid based and I think it's wonderful. It was my first chemical exfoliant and I find that it's pretty gentle. I went away from it for a little while and then I missed it and I've started to use it again and it is definitely one of my favorites. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that in here. The mask I'm going to use today is from Dermalogica. Before I get any further, I am cruelty free, but I choose to purchase from brands whose parent companies aren't, but I know that's not the same for everybody. So Dermalogica, their parent company is Unilever, and it is the same for Tatcha as well. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that before I forget. But this mask I've really been enjoying. I've used it maybe 2 or 3 times now. What I think makes it really unique is a lot of times masks that are for exfoliating that give proper exfoliation, a lot of times I don't feel like they leave my skin with moisture. This one does. It has little bamboo spheres in it that pop when you're applying it. You guys will see in a second. But I feel like that actually leaves my skin with some hydration versus just exfoliating my skin. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 for me. And then you just push down on the top to get some of the mask. I'm gonna need more than that. I don't know if you guys can see any of those spheres in there. They're a little bit darker and in the shade of blue. It smells really good too. It kind of has like a very light cucumber kind of scent. It's nothing too overpowering. My other mask that I really enjoy would be the Drunk Elephant Baby Facial, and then also the Ordinary, the peeling solution. That one is pretty strong and I don't use it very often. It's just when my skin feels super congested, which has been all the time as of late. There's one of the little bamboo spheres. Some of them I popped while I was applying it. It just feels really good. And then the directions say, let mask activate for 3 to 5 minutes and then rinse thoroughly and follow with your moisturizer. While we're here though, something else that I'm going to do now so that I can rinse off my skin and be done with it, I'm going to use a lip scrub. These are new to me and I can't say that I love them. I'm just trying to get through it. It's gonna take me a while. This is from Truly. This is the Sexy Soft Lip Scrub. It says it has peppermint and hyaluronic acid. The scrubby bits in here are not very scrubby. It is very, very light. I definitely need more than what this provides. It looks cute though. I feel like Truly is a brand that's just a little gimmicky. Everything looks good and I'm always intrigued by the titles of the products and the ingredients that are on the labels, but I don't know. I feel like it's a gimmick. I know they're a very TikTok popular brand. Let me know if you guys love anything from Truly. Yeah, this has more butter in it than it has scrubby bits. I guess it's sugar. I feel like I'm just putting on lip gloss. All right, gonna rinse everything off. I so needed that. My skin feels super soft now. The next thing I go in with is my essence. Usually I'll use a toner in the morning and an essence in the evening, unless I'm using one of my liquid exfoliants that is also a toner. Currently, the one I have is from Crave again. It's the Kayla. Yeah, Kayla. That's what it's called. Super cute name. And I have really been enjoying that as well. But for today, I'm gonna go in with the essence, which is from Eminence. This is the Birch Water Purifying Essence. I've had this for maybe a month now, and it feels really nice on the skin. What I feel like an essence does for my skin is, one, it's an extra layer of hydration. They always plump up the skin a little bit, and then they also help other products absorb into the skin. And for this one in particular, birch water is said, this is all according to Eminence's website, birch water is supposed to help with redness and inflammation. And then next for eye cream from Tatcha, the Silk Peony. I add my eye cream on before any other serum or moisturizer because I feel like it's best for that to absorb into my skin first. Otherwise, I feel like my eye area is going to be absorbing my serums, which may be a little bit too much for that area. And I like the texture of the Silk Peony, but I gotta be honest, I have never found an eye cream that I'm like, oh my God, that's the one, that's my holy grail. Usually when I go through one, I just try something different the next time. And I'm using about the size of a grain of rice. You don't want to use too much more than that. And I press around that orbital bone versus going directly underneath my eyes. Something I learned while working at Aveda is that your eye actually will absorb the product. I have a hair on my finger and distracted myself. Your eyes will actually absorb the product. The skin around your eyes will absorb it. Putting it underneath, you can put too much pressure under there. And if you have dark circles, it can actually make those circles appear even darker. And it's also just better to be extra gentle with that area. I always would love some eye cream recommendations. The other one that is on my list to try out is from Youth to the People, the Dream Eye Cream. I'll probably pick up that one next. I keep mentioning this brand, but it's because I tried a lot of products from them recently. Crave Beauty again, and this one I think has been my favorite, although the cleanser is really high up on my list too. This is the Great Barrier Relief. It has a lot of tamanu oil in it. Let me read directly from their website so I can tell you exactly what it does, because it is kind of a unique product. It says it's a creamy, nourishing serum that calms signs of sensitivity and evens out skin without the greasy after feeling. A blend of conditioning oils fight irritation, discoloration, and breakouts caused by a damaged skin barrier. And this one has niacinamide pretty high up on the list, and I know that's been a very popular ingredient lately. I will say with this serum, I had mentioned in a video something I had used caused irritation or inflammation in my skin. There was a reaction. I had started using, it was Peach and Lily's glass serum and one other product. I can't remember what it was, but one of those two caused a reaction in my skin and it stayed around for a while. It was red and irritated in some areas. Shortly after using this, I want to say it was my second time using it. It went away. I don't know if it's this product or if it was just time for it to settle down, but I do want to mention that, and it's also kept me using it because I feel like if it can do that for my skin, it's probably beneficial in the long run. I really like the smell of it too. Like I said, I know the tamanu oil is really the main ingredient, and from what I've read, that's really what it smells like. It's so earthy and I really enjoy it. And then next up is a retinol. If you've been following my skincare project pan, this is in it. I've had this for a while. If I don't use this up, I fear it is going to expire. So that's why I'm trying to get through it. My project pan ends in the middle of December, so I have a little while longer to try to use it up. I recently purchased a retinol oil from Jordan Samuel. If you've been wanting to try that brand like I have, it's 20% off on their website during the month of November. So I went on and I purchased a couple of things. So I'm hoping by the time that comes to me, I can have it sitting for a little while and I can get through this one. I don't think this has really done a ton for my skin. It's another reason why I want to try to use it up and try something else. So I'm going to use it today for that reason. This is a product I also would not use with a liquid exfoliant, but because I used a physical one today, I think we're okay. Very yellow, very pasty. When I first started using this, I started just using a tiny amount of it, and I used it like once a week, and then I increased it to a couple times a week, and then every other day. And that's what you're supposed to do if you are new to retinol. Also, of course, wearing sunscreen when you're using them, which you should already be doing. We should all be wearing our sunscreen. I have no problem with it, except that I just don't know what it does for my skin. I just haven't seen a difference. And then, not lastly, but almost to the end, this is my favorite step, besides the cleansing balm. I love applying my oil or my moisturizer because, again, I can do a bit of a massage. I do have a gua sha tool as well as a jade roller. I'm not pulling them out today because if I'm being honest, I don't use them enough to be like, hey, this is what I do in my routine. I go through periods where I'm pretty good with them and then I get away from them. And right now I'm away from it. Hopefully I'll get back to that routine though, because it does feel really nice on the skin. I do have a skincare fridge, so I keep them both in there and it always feels really nice. I just don't always have time for it. So for my moisturizer, this I pretty much just switch up day to day. I do have some nighttime facials that I like as well, but these are my two favorites. Tatcha, the Silk Cream. I love this moisturizer. I use it so sparingly and I don't let myself use it very often. My cheesy nacho, because it's expensive and I just love the way it makes my skin feel in the morning. It gives me proper moisture. The smell is lovely. The texture, you can feel that it's hydrating your skin, but it doesn't feel like I just slathered myself in cream. There's still a lightness to it and I can't get over it. I think this is my second or my third one and I'm almost out of it. It is almost empty. And then for the oil, which I'm going to use because this is the one that is in my project pan, so I'm trying to use it up. This one is from Herbivore. This is the Phoenix Facial Oil. This has been the longest thing in my skincare routine. I think about this and I've been using this since my first apartment, which was a while ago. I first discovered the brand Herbivore on Etsy and it was before they were being sold at Sephora. I know I've mentioned that before and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I have been using them them for a while. I love what this does for my skin. Same thing as the Tatcha. There's nothing that makes my skin feel the same way in the morning. It always looks glowy and hydrated, but there's a softness to my skin that I don't experience with other products. The smell is also really nice. It's slightly floral and slightly nutty. And they make 3 oils, or they did at the time. They made 3 main oils. I think they have a couple more options now, but I just use a few drops of this, and that's why it takes me so long to get through it. It has CoQ10, which helps support the skin's natural collagen, rosehip oil, and then that sea buckthorn oil that I mentioned earlier, that's also in this product. So it's in my project pan, and I forgot to mention this. It's in there because I want to use it up before it goes bad. It's not because I don't like it. I will be buying this product again. And in fact, I think I'm gonna make myself stop buying other oils because I constantly see ones that I wanna try out, but they take me so long to get through. And they're one of those products that are really susceptible to spoiling, even with keeping them in my fridge. So I gotta cut it out. I gotta stop buying new ones. One of my final steps, I always add a lip balm as well. I went through my Jouer lip treatment that's in my skincare project pan, and in fact, I don't know where it is. I've lost it, so I don't have it for when I do that finale, but I always add a lip balm before going to bed or a mask. I also recently picked up the Tatcha, the Kissu lip mask. I've used that twice now, and it is lovely, but for this video, I am going to use the partner to the Truly mask, which is the Luscious Lip Butter. Again, I'm not a huge fan. This feels more like I just put butter onto my lips. It doesn't feel like it's actually sinking in, and I feel like it slides off pretty quickly, but I have to use it up. I could probably get away with using this on other areas of my body, like on my cuticles, maybe even elbows or heels, just to get through it. It tastes really nice. It has a very strong like candy cane peppermint kind of taste. I don't know. Maybe my thoughts will change over time, but the couple times that I've used this, I kind of just feel like it was sitting. My all-time favorite is the Glossier, the Balm.com. I'm trying to get through that one so I can purchase some more. The one I have right now has glitter in it, and I don't love using it at night, but sometimes I do, just because it provides my skin with such great moisture. I've yet to find anything better than that one. And then the final step that I do, and I've been trying to be really good about doing this every night because I bought it, so I need to use it. I am using the Briogeo castor oil. I read somewhere that castor oil was really beneficial for hair growth, especially in the lashes and brows. And I want to say somebody was using it, maybe Samantha Ravindall mentioned it in a video, and that's why I picked up this one specifically. I also just love Briogeo in general. So what I do is I just take a drop of this, and then I have a clean mascara wand. I purchased a bunch of these off of Amazon. Actually, I purchased them a long time ago for when I was doing makeup more regularly, and I had them still in my makeup kit. So I'm still using those that I had, but I only need a drop. I did just wash my hands. And I have to say, if you've ever seen me do my makeup in a video, I pretty much always complain about my lashes because they grow downwards. They used to be like very full and I had a lot of volume, but now these outer lashes all will grow downwards, and it's so annoying, especially when I'm trying to wear false lashes because they're just kind of fighting against that band. And I feel like this has actually made a big difference. I'm just rolling it on the top just like I would a mascara wand, and then upwards. If I get too much, I will go back over with a towel just to wipe off any excess, but I don't think I did this time. So I'm glad this dropper is gradual. You don't have to get a full drop at once. But I've been making a habit of this, I want to say the past 2 months, and I do feel like it has done something for my lashes. And then I also do my brows as well. I just take the excess, I back comb, and then I go upwards. And I really have just let my brows do their thing this year. I do wax, but in the beginning of quarantine, I decided to just kind of leave them alone. Well, it really wasn't a conscious decision. I just was being lazy, but I left them alone and let them do their thing. And I had noticed the next time I went to do my makeup that I had hair growing in places that I thought I had lost. When I was in my early 20s, I tweezed them into little U's. If I am brave, I will put a picture here. It was so bad. So I'm really lucky that they have grown back over time, but I've gotten them into a place that I'm really happy with. They aren't the most structured, but I've kind of liked that. I like them just having their full potential, and I'm getting older, and I feel like I'm at that point. If I start waxing my brows too much, eventually the hair's not going to grow back. And that's my routine. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thanks for being patient with me. I know this took me a while to get out. Also, thanks for understanding with the lighting today. I know it wasn't very consistent, but it is what it is. I'm still glad that I filmed today, and that was actually super relaxing. Of course, this is my full routine. I don't do this every night. I should have said this in the beginning, but I feel like about maybe 5 times a week, this is what I do. Of course, I have those nights where I'm very tired, I closed at work, or it's just been a really long day. But for the most part, even when I'm trying to be really quick, I always cleanse. I use a cleansing balm. I use my cleanser, so I always double cleanse. I use a moisturizer and usually an eye cream as well. But it felt good to do the full thing. Usually, it's my self-care. I take the time. I usually will throw on a YouTube video, or I will listen to music while doing my routine. And I enjoy that little bit of self-care. Let me know about your routines below. I would love to hear about them, your favorite products, or if you have used any of the products that I showed today. Let me know your thoughts on them. Do be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want to see my morning routine, let me know in the comments and I will have that up next month. And if you would like to see me and more of my remarks, please subscribe if you haven't already. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.